Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a very special guest joining me for our fun little video topic of the week today. Say hi to the people at home.
Hello. Hey, guoba here.
Yeah, it's him, guys. Do you guys know about? I'm pretty sure that 99% of you that are watching this know who the hell this is. Anyway, back on topic. It's guoba. Yes, he has legal confirmation. He signed an NDA to be here today. He's not. I don't know. Does his words today represent the malpractice, the channel that he represents?
I'm safe.
Okay. Well, so he's here to us to discuss today our favorite teams in Honkai Star Rail. Before we get into this topic, we should probably set a criteria for this so people don't get the wrong idea. These are our favorite teams only. We aren't endorsing these teams as like top brass meta or the most effective way possible to clear content. It's simply based on favoritism and how we like to play it, which doesn't always, mean power, but if playing a team and seeing all the funny numbers makes you, really like the team a lot, then we could also put that into consideration. But for certain people like me, also having certain difficulties and hurdles throughout the fight is something that I'd consider very fun for me to play. What about you, Gobo? What do you usually value in a team, or what do you value in a character when you play them?
Yeah, I value fun.
Do you like more difficult units to run? Like, for example, they're harder to play and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah,
I play some noob characters, but I appreciate the difficult ones and the difficult setups.
Ah, okay. So we have a meta mindset coming into this. I will be explaining a few things about our teams of choice. We're also gonna tell you how the team works first. So we're elaborating the play style, how it plays, if it feels nice, the synergy of it, and how it succeeds. Then we're gonna talk about why it's a favorite, why we actually like those teams. Maybe for favoritism, maybe because it's difficult to play. Lastly, we're going to say stuff that if you want to run the team yourself, then we're going to include, viable replacements, strong use cases in which, the team is good at, and weak use cases. Like if they have difficulties in certain content, we are going to say them. Can we agree that this is in no particular order, just to make it not complicated?
Yeah. I just chose 3 teams I liked really.
Okay, that's good. We will only be presenting 3 choices today for the sake of video time and brevity, and it allows more difficult decision making on our part. So, do you want to go first or me?
You can go first.
First team that I'm bringing to the table is Herta, Himiko, and 2 flex slots that are usually reserved for 1 sustain and 1 support, sometimes 2 supports. And I like to call this team Intwirl National. I don't know, man.
I haven't heard that one.
How the team works, I don't think I need to elaborate much to you guys. The playstyle of it is basically min-maxing Himiko's amount of charges. Like, you don't just willy-nilly break enemies as much as you want. You kind of have to min-max too. I sometimes use basic attack on Himiko just to maximize the amount of charges. The synergy of it is well documented. Himiko drops the enemy to 50% HP. Herta follows up with huge spins, like 5 at a time if you're very good at it. And how it succeeds, well, pure fiction is a thing. I don't think I need anything more to explain about that. Now, why I like this team is a bit of an antithesis to what I usually like. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. This team is so meta. I think everybody runs it, from the noobs to the whales. I think even they like running this team. It's such a fun team to watch. That's really just why I make it my favorite team. It's just so fun to watch these spinning animations. It tickles my lizard-like brain just to see all of that. If you want to run the team yourself, of course, then you could replace Herta with Jade, and I think that would yield better results, but at that point it's not Intwirl National anymore. Herta is kind of the main character, if you want to call it like that.
Yeah.
But you could also replace Himiko with Jade, I guess that also works. Practically any erudition character as long as you have Herta or Himiko, so which brings to the other thing, strong use case of it, pure fiction obviously, and difficulties in certain content, well, anything single target is basically dead for this team.
Yeah.
It really is just a pure fiction-like team. You can't use it anywhere else. I mean, sometimes in MOC, I guess. But yeah, that's my first team.
My first team is the IPC team. Do we even call it the IPC team anymore?
I think so. I think we call it the IP3 team.
Okay. Yeah, so Ratio, Topaz, Aventurine, and Robin, or Rome. The way it works is you every single unit is kind of synergistic and enables each other. So I mean, I wrote down a Fei Xiao example, but I run the ratio one myself. I didn't give Fei Xiao, but basically Fei Xiao enables Topaz, she enables Venturine, she enables Robin's damage procs and energy, and then you have Topaz who enables Fei Xiao and Venturine, and a Venturine who enables Fei Xiao and Topaz, and then Robin is like, hey, all of that you just did, you can just do it again every time she ults. It's very fun to watch. You get lots of attacks. You get the gambling chips, the piggies, the cool Fei Xiao moves. And it does a lot of damage checks, one by one, lots of attacks. But then you also have Fei Xiao's ultimate now to do like insane damage when you need it. I guess the equivalent would be with Ratio, it'd be his massive ult follow-up attacks, would be the new nukes. But I feel like Fei Xiao brought it to another level with her ultimate nukes.
Yeah.
Why I like it, it's probably like, I just like how they all synergize together, but also I was a Topaz believer all the way back in 1.4. I used to run her Topaz hyper carry because I had nothing else.
Wait, how does that work? Hold on.
It was with Bronya and Tingyan. It was kind of baller back then.
Oh, okay.
It also uses my favorite sustain, Venturine, and also my favorite Harmony, Robin. So it's just like, I guess, all my favorite units in one little team. But I run it with Ratio still. It still works really well. If you want alternatives, the DPS can be Ratio, it can be March, it can be Fei Xiao. The sustain can be Gallagher or even Lingsha, I think should do really well on the team. Robin replacement can be Raw Mei, especially with Ratio, the debuff. But also Jiaocho is really good there too. And for Topaz sub DPS replacement, there's March and Moza, of course. Really nice team. There are a lot of different options for like each part of the team, and they all work really well. So it's like a pretty good core for any follow-up enjoyer. They literally all synergize together. It's like the Exodia follow-up team right now. To make the Fei Xiao Exodia team. I think it only falls off in Pure Fiction, but then again, it doesn't really because Robin and Venturine are just broken for Pure Fiction. And also, if you get like a follow-up buff, the ones that do like the Whimsicality, where it's like the follow-up does like an AoE explosion. Well, if you do enough follow-ups, it does an AoE explosion. That one is just broken and lets you 40k with this team. And they don't struggle in MOC or Apocalyptic Shadow either. So it's a really good team for a lot of content.
Yeah, I see. My second team is the Boot Hill. How do I call this? The Boot Hill Super Break Hyper Carry. I guess that works. I guess the Super Break Hyper Carry is a double negative. You don't really play Hyper Carry in the Super Break team, but the way it works is, well, it's a Super Break team. And the playstyle of it hinges a lot on Boot Hill's a bit more complex gameplay and his build-up, because you can maximize it a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of in-depth guides about how to maximize Boot Hill out there, and I can't really go through all of them. There's just a lot of ways you can min-max stuff. And, you know, the synergy of it, obviously, you have Boot Hill, you have Harmony MC, you have Gallagher. The flex slot, it was kind of out of desperation. I would put Ron May with Boot Hill if I could, but since my free-to-play account doesn't have her, I use fringe options like Pela and Gunaifen, which do work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's Boot Hill. He's the best single target like Super Break character. Like, what else could you say? It succeeds. And why I like this team so much, again, it hinges on Boot Hill. His gameplay is so satisfying for me to play. Like, I know he is a very strong character, but if you don't know how to play him, you're not gonna see a lot of the results in min-maxing him. And this concept I just really like, and a lot of people have told me that Zila is kind of the same way in a lot of min-maxing strategies. I don't really play Zila, but it's what I really like about Boot Hill. He has many points of optimization that I just really like to mess around with and see if I could get a higher score with him. If you want to run the team yourself, well, obviously, you could replace Boot Hill with Firefly if you want to, but strong use cases, Apocalyptic Shadow, Members of Chaos, the only way it struggles is in Pure Fiction. That's pretty much it. It's a very basic team when you describe it, but when you actually play it, I feel like there's a lot more detail that comes into it, which I can't really explain well right now.
Now, I told you at the start, I might have a similar team to you.
Oh no!
So I actually prefer the Bronya Boot Hill setup.
Oh no!
That's my second team.
Hit him with it.
I mean, at least it was different.
Yeah,
You
sure.
chose Super Break. I like the Bronya variant because he is like probably the highest damage a turn unit in the game, and so with Bronya you get double those turns. It is a bit rough on the SP, but I chose the Zero Cycle variant of Rome and Pella alongside him, so they give him SP and a lot of damage amp. Rome delays on the ult give a lot of survivability help, and since his ult is also a delay, one of the safest 0 cycle 0 sustain comps, because there's so much delay, on top of breaking, of course, delaying by 25%. You don't have to run it 0 sustain. I guess you'd run Gallagher over Pala if you want the sustain. But I think he's one of the safest 0 cyclers and one of the best 0 cyclers. It's super fun team to play. You see some of the biggest numbers ever on those break plus enhanced basic big damage numbers. I also think Boothill's probably, I don't know. I think he's super underrated, but I think that's also because like no one pulled him.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the lowest performing banners because it was like around Robin and Firefly era, and no one really knew him.
Yeah, that was
And
rough.
yeah, he came out of nowhere, and people were expecting Firefly drip, poor guy. But I think he's still a really cool DPS. I suggest some DPS alternatives in my notes. I said Sushang or Luca, the only other physical single targets. But with them, you probably run Super Break, because they don't have break procs like Boothill does. So you'd run Super Break with them. He's the only one that can do what he does. He doesn't rely on Super Break. So that's why I like Bronya with. And support, you could run Jiao Cho over Pella, a little less SP though. Or you just run Gallagher as a sustain and more SP. And like your team, you can run Super Break as well. He's got a lot of cool teams. He's also got some meme teams. That's also why I love Boothill. He's got the Boothill Akron meme team.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to put, but I wasn't sure.
Boothill is a very meme character. I'm glad we both agree on that. He's really fun.
He's very strong as well.
My next team, the last team that I have, is
Right.
oh my god. I don't know
this
how
is
to.
a crazy team.
It's Blade.
Wait, let me.
It's Jade. It's Blade. Right. It's Hanya. And the flex character. It could be a sustain, it could be another support. And I'd like to call this team the Blahaj. And I mean, the way it works is you have Jade put Blade as a depth collector, and he drains more HP. Sorry, so excuse me. She drains more HP, and he gains more stacks of his karma of a follow-up, and he just tears the enemy apart. Hanya, or whoever you choose as a support there, is mostly there for either more SP, or you use them for more advances. Like you could easily use Bronya. If you do use the Bronya variant, you get to use more SP friendly sustains, like let's say Gallagher. But if you use someone like Hanya, who's extremely SP positive as she is already in a very SP positive team, then you could also run Lynx and spam the hell out of your skill to consistently proc shared feeling and give
oh my God.
give everyone energy.
Let him cook.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This amount of cooking is so funny to me that it's become one of my favorite teams in recent memory.
How does it perform?
It performs decently well enough. The Hanya variant is obviously weaker than the Bronya variant. Like the Bronya variant is much more riskier. I used to be one of the people that really liked using Blade in 1.1 was he released it? 1.1, right?
Yeah, 1.2.
Oh yeah, 1.2. Yeah, 1.1 was Locha. I used to be one of the people that really, really liked him because HP draining in RPG games, in role-playing games, has always been one of my favorite things to maximize and my favorite things to type of play. I really like the risk of it. Now, if you want to run this team yourself, I suggest you don't. It really isn't that good. I promise you, it really isn't that good. In terms of strong use cases, there actually is one. If you ever face the wine boss, the one that just throws wine at you and then throws you with like 15 BOTD buffs, Blade in general is very strong for that. And, this is like one of his best teams right now, is just with Jade. Kind of has a bit of difficulty in Apocalyptic Shadow because of the weakness types being a bit awkward. Like Quantum and Wind is not something you see a lot. Yeah. For now, it's really strong, but I really wouldn't recommend running this team. It's just really fun for me, and it's my favorite team.
Lovely.
How about you, Gober?
So my last team is the Mosquito team. It's Bronya, Gallagher, Robin, and then high frequency attack DPS. The most recent would be Fei Xiao. But this team popularity rose from March, and then I was running it for March, but it was kind of air back then.
Yeah.
But March and Fei Xiao made it actually a pretty viable team. Basically, the way it works is you just do like a million tiny hits, all boosted by Robin, and then Robin also gets her damage ticks out. So you just do like 1,000 decently sized hits, and they all stack up in a very short amount of time, and it's just very fun. You get a lot of turns, a lot of actions. Probably the core synergy. There are like 2 core synergies. There's the Bronya Robin synergy, which I really wanted to make work when Robin came out, but I was like, where's the SP? Bronya can always advance the DPS if she's behind the DPS, and so doubles their actions. And Robin ulting means the DPS takes another turn, and then Bronya takes another turn after the DPS. So basically, you get 4 DPS actions in a really short amount of time with Bronya Robin. Now, the problem was the SP, but Much just spams basics. So you really have no SP problem anymore. The second core synergy would be the quid pro quo Gallagher.
Oh no.
Gallagher quid pro quo abuse is one of my favorite things in the game. Because he takes 2 actions back to back. He takes the most actions out of any sustain, and every turn is 16 energy for someone, usually to Robin, which means you usually have her ult back when she next acts, and so you can do everything all over again. So it's actually a really quick team to run as well because Robin is so OP, and you don't have SP issues with March, so it's like super comfy to run. You attack so many times with Gallagher besotted procs that it's super easy to run sustain-wise. And it's baller in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow. I probably like it so much because I have been shilling the Bronya Robin combo since her guide, and also this meme team since her guide.
Oh man.
The 3 supports can't be replaced because it's such a weird synergy between all 3. But the DPS can be any high-frequency attacker. So March is the main one. Fei Xiao is the newest one, but a bit harder on SP. I've seen Jing Liu run it. He uses a bit less SP than most DPS.
I've never seen that one.
Yep, I've seen Jing Liu run it.
That's crazy.
JD1 can run it because she also spams basics. When I tried running it with JD1 though, I kept forgetting to use my skill on Jade.
Oh damn.
Sushan can run it when the enemy's weakness broken. This is a bit weaker though because Sushan is just a weaker unit. But Sushan can use it. But really, best units to run it's probably March or Fei Xiao. And then it works as a Fei Xiao hypercarry team if you don't want to run dual DPS. But I mean, you should really run dual DPS with her. It's just a fun alternative team. I think I've shilled Robin in 2 teams now, so I should probably stop. Hopefully a new Harmony comes out soon, so we can start shilling them every video.
And I didn't know that it was that good. When I saw the team at first, I was like, this can't be a good team, right? And they actually zero cycled with it. But it took like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I don't think.
Yeah, it's like the longest zero cycle you can do.
Like what is this, man?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite books. It's just like super weird synergy, but now it feels kind of normal just because quid pro quo Gallagher Robin is so common now. I think the craziest cook is still the Boot Hill Acheron. I don't know if that's just because the 2 units are so OP. I don't know if they had signatures or not. But yeah, I love the Boot Hill Acheron. That is such an interesting cook.
Yeah.
What helps with him is he can just run tank because it's all about the break anyway.
Yeah.
And then he also taunts people. It's such a weird team.
Yeah.
I want to see Lingsha hypercarry.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the new cook.
Yeah, I'm actually
super break hypercarry.
Yeah, I'm gaslighting myself slowly every day by thinking Lingsha and Jade is gonna be a great team.
Oh my god! I mean,
it's happening.
I'll see if it is. I'll test it for you.
Yeah, I'm a person that just generally runs weird team. I like weird teams more than I like meta teams. I did try to like put a Shui team somewhere here. Yeah, it really wasn't just about the fun. It's just that I really like Shui. Whereas with Blade, I did really like Blade, but I also like the HP consumption mechanic.
I mean, I normally run Firefly, but
oh well, okay.
It's because I'm a Sam enjoyer.
Hey, hope you audience watching at home really like this collaboration event with guoba. If you would like to see him more, why am I saying this? You already probably subscribed to him if you're subscribed to me. I promise. He will be here next time. Will he? Are you?
Will I? Well, what's happening next time?
Never mind. Yeah. So, anything you want to say, guoba? While we leave?
Smash that subscribe and like button.
Oh yeah.
On this channel.
Which
button
one?
below. The channel the video is on.
Okay.
Wait, I'm trying to face downwards, but it's not working. You'll see it. You'll see it when you're editing.
Oh, okay.
Try and position me above the subscribe button.
Okay, I'll do that.
It looks cursed. Okay.
Right.
Smash it.
Smash all that like button. Do all the algorithm stuff. Hell yeah. And I'll see you later with another mediocre video I can't think of right now, but I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.